We think our lives are this collection of thousands of choices, big and small. But what if I told you that underneath it all, there's really just one fundamental choice that pretty much dictates your entire story, whether you realize you're making it or not?
So what is it? What is that single choice that has the power to define everything that comes after?
To get to the heart of it, let's look at this really powerful idea from Chris Langan, a man famous for having one of the highest recorded IQs. He puts the choice like this. You decide up front, who do you serve, truth or mammon? Now, mammon is kind of an old school word, right? It basically just means the pursuit of wealth, status, and all those worldly desires. So Langan is saying this is the fundamental fork in the road. And here's the kicker. If you don't consciously make this choice, your actions will make it for you.
And this one decision, it sets you on one of two very, very different paths, each one leading to a completely different destiny.
And the outcomes, well, they couldn't be more black and white. You follow the path of truth and you're heading towards joy, genuine happiness, and connection. But you go down the path of mammon, chasing those fleeting desires, and that road leads to sadness, despair, and ultimately separation from the things that truly matter.
So if this choice plays out in our lives, where is the actual battle for that choice fought? The answer is clear. It happens within us. Your mind, that is the real battlefield.
And this requires a total shift in how we see our own thoughts. Your mind isn't just some playground for ideas to bounce around in. No, it's the soil of your soul. It's the silent battleground where your destiny is being decided day in and day out.
Think about this for a second. The very first war in history, it wasn't fought with weapons on some piece of land. It was a war of thought. It all started with a single question planted in the mind. Did God really say that? That's where it all began.
And that's because our inner world is directly connected to our outer world. Everything we do starts in the imagination. It's the birthplace of every single action, good or bad. What happens inside your head will, eventually, show up in your life. So here's the crucial thing to understand. You don't lose the war for your life in some big dramatic moment. It's a slow fade. You lose it one thought at a time, one tiny compromise after another, until your entire inner world has been conquered without you even noticing.
Okay, so if our mind is a battlefield, then what are the weapons? Well, it all boils down to a conflict between two opposing forces, lies versus truth.
The enemy's main weapon is deception. Lies are planted in your mind like these tiny little seeds. A lie about your worth. Let that grow and it becomes shame. A lie about your future. That sprouts into fear. A lie about God's love, and that creates distance. And before you even know it, these thoughts have built a prison around you that was never, ever meant for you.
But there is a powerful counter strategy. The Apostle Paul talks about it as an active demolition job. It's about taking every single thought captive and forcing it to answer to the truth.
So how do you tell the difference between these voices when they're screaming in your head? It really comes down to this. Conviction, which comes from truth, leads to transformation. It pulls you closer to God. It makes you run for mercy. Condemnation, on the other hand, is born from lies. It only ever leads to shame and makes you want to go and hide.
So we know the stakes, we know the weapons. How do we actually fight back? Let's talk about a real battle plan for guarding your inner world. The key is to get this one thing straight. Real transformation doesn't come from changing your circumstances. You can't live a new life if you're stuck with an old way of thinking. Change starts with the renewing of your mind. And this renewal process is actually pretty straightforward. It's 3 steps. First, awareness. You have to actually notice the thought and ask, hey, where did you come from? Second, alignment. You test it. Does this thought line up with what I know to be true? And third, action. If it doesn't align, you take it captive. You refuse to let it run wild in your head.
This means we have to be intentional. We have to be the guards at the gates of our own minds. Because whatever you let in, the media you consume, the conversations you have, the ideas you entertain, it directly shapes what comes out of you. It's a simple principle. Garbage in, chaos out. But truth in, that leads to transformation. So, after all that work, what's the ultimate prize for winning this war within? What does victory actually look and feel like in day-to-day life?
The goal here isn't just about stopping negative thoughts. It's so much bigger. It's about cultivating what the scriptures call the mind of Christ, a way of thinking that gives you a kind of supernatural, unshakable peace, no matter what is swirling around you.
And what does that peace really look like?
It's not about having a life with no storms. It's about mastering your inner world while the storm is raging. It's a mindset that can actually see purpose in struggle and see a design in delay. It doesn't deny that the storm is real, it just refuses to be ruled by it. It's a peace that comes from perfect trust, not from perfect circumstances.
And maybe the most powerful shift in perspective is this. The war inside was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to train you. The whole struggle gets reframed. It's not a punishment, it's preparation. It's a training ground designed to forge you into someone stronger.
Which brings us to the final, all-important point. The whole goal of choosing truth, of winning this war, isn't just to win, it's to be free. So if your mind is truly free from that prison of lies, fear, and shame, the only question left is, what are you going to do with it?